Let's examine this shot that came up in a Mosconi Cup match. Albin Ocean ended up straight in on the 5-ball, but he needs to send the cue ball to the other side of the side pocket for position on his next ball. If he uses maximum high and cheats the pocket, his cue ball will be sent toward the point of the pocket. But if he shoots just above center with a firm stroke, the cue ball's path is sent toward the other side of the side pocket. This is a great shot to learn when you end up in situations like this where you have very little angle on your object ball. Like in this example where I ended up on the 6-ball pocket line and I need to send the cue ball to this area for shaping the 8-ball. If I use maximum high and cheat the pocket, the cue ball will be sent toward the point of the pocket. But if I cheat the pocket and aim just below maximum high, I can send the cue ball to the other side of the side pocket. The key to this shot is using a firm stroke and being very precise about what part of the pocket the ball is being sent into. Here's an extreme example of the same type of shot. In this game, I need to pocket the object ball and end up here for shape on the 8-ball. So on this shot, I'm really going to increase the speed of the shot, which results in more cue ball movement. Here's a pretty cool shot. In this game of 8-ball, I'm on my last solid, but it may be difficult to get on the 8-ball. If I use high right to try to spin the cue ball over to the end rail, the cue ball strikes the side rail too high up, which results in the cue ball landing on the other side of the stripes. But if I slightly elevate my bridge, the cue ball will hop when striking the object ball, which is just enough to change its path to the side rail, which sends the cue ball toward the end rail. And we can see that when the cue ball leaves the object ball, its path is more curved, which sends it a little lower on the side rail and then toward the end rail. Here's a similar shot. In this game of 8-ball, I ended up on the wrong side of the 7-ball pocket line, and I need to send the cue ball down to the end rail for shaping the 8-ball. If I use high left, the best I can do is send the cue ball to this area here. But if I slightly elevate the cue stick, now the path to the side rail is more curved, which allows the angle to widen, sending the cue ball to the end rail. Here's another variation of this type of shot. In this game of 9-ball, I ended up with a bad angle on the 3-ball, and I need to end up around here for the 4-ball. Once again, if I can slightly elevate my cue stick, the cue ball will hop slightly when contacting the 3-ball, which will change its path, sending it to the position area. If you increase your side spin with good follow through, you can send your cue ball farther down the table. In this 9-ball game, I'm on the 2-ball and I need to send the cue ball to the other half of the table for shape on the 3-ball. If I use follow with right spin, the cue ball will track in this direction, which won't work. But if I use center with maximum right and a very firm stroke, once the cue ball strikes the end rail, the right spin propels the cue ball to the side rail and then moves it to the other half of the table. The key to this shot is to aim the object ball to the outside of the pocket to create a little more angle. On this shot, I'm going to increase my speed, sending it 4 rails for position. Here's a similar situation. In this 9-ball game, I'm on the 3-ball and I need to send the cue ball to the other half of the table for shape on the 5-ball. If I use follow with left spin, the cue ball will be sent in this direction. Once again, I'll be using maximum side spin, which propels the cue ball off the cushions. Here's a great shot that comes up every once in a while. In this game, Efren needs an angle in the 3-ball to get on the 4-ball. His goal is to pocket the 2-ball and land on this side of the 3-ball pocket line, which will give him the angle he needs to go 3 rails for shape on the 4-ball. But Efren wants to end up closer to the 3-ball after pocketing the 2-ball. On this shot, he'll be using a low stun shot to send the cue ball close to the corner pocket, and he'll also be using about a tip and a half of left spin to send the cue ball back to the side rail. This is a great shot to learn, but it does take practice. The key is to strike the end rail within a diamond of the corner pocket with a firm speed, along with about a tip and a half of left spin. And if you're ever confused over running and reverse spin, I'll put a link in the description to a video that should help you better understand it. In this 9-ball game, I'm left with this angle on the 1 ball. The problem is that I need to pocket the 2 ball into this corner pocket. So in this shot, I'm going to be using a low stun shot to strike the end rail as far down as possible, using about a tip and a half of right spin. If struck correctly, I should be left with a nice shot for the 2 ball. Here's a really interesting shot that many players don't know about. In this game of 8-ball, I'm on my last solid, and my goal is to pocket the 3 ball and land in this area here for shaping the 8 ball. The problem is that the only pocket I have for the 3 ball is a bank shot into this corner pocket. And if I attempt a normal bank shot, the cue ball will be sent into the stripes. But just using maximum low, I can bank the 3 ball, and the low spin sends the cue ball directly to the bottom side rail for shaping the 8 ball. The key to this shot is using maximum low and striking the 3 ball thin. In this game of 8-ball, I ended up very close to the 3 ball pocket line. When you're faced with situations like this, elevate your bridge hand and shoot the object ball into the outside of the pocket to create more angle. When you shoot this shot, you want to be shooting down on the cue ball with about a tip of low and about 2 tips of right spin. Once the cue ball strikes the end rail with the right spin, it takes off toward the position area. And once you get the shot down, it's fairly easy to execute over and over again. Here's a similar example, except in this situation, I need to bring the cue ball straight back to the end rail for shaping the 8 ball. The problem is that my cue ball landed on the 3 ball pocket line. So in this shot, I'll slightly elevate my bridge and shoot the 3 ball into the outside of the pocket with a draw shot. When the cue ball makes contact with the object ball, it hops, which changes its direction once it strikes the side rail. This shot is very repeatable with enough practice. One important shot you ought to learn is using cushions to slow down the cue ball. For example, in this game of 8-ball, I'm on my last solid, the 5 ball, but due to the angle, it may be hard to hold the cue ball for shape on the 8 ball. But if I can use low with left spin, I can send the cue ball toward the top side rail, which slows the cue ball's momentum. The key to this shot is making sure you have enough left spin to send the cue ball to the top side rail. These are excellent shots that allow you to move the cue ball around obstacle balls, as in this game of 8-ball where I need to pocket the last solid and get position for the 8-ball. The problem is that if I use maximum low, the cue ball will strike the 9-ball. But if I strike down on the cue ball, about a tip and a half below center, now the cue ball slightly hops before drawing back, which helps send it around the 9-ball. Once you have the shot down, it's fairly easy to repeat over and over again. When you shoot this shot, you'll need to use a bridge like this, where your tip is sent downward toward the cue ball, which causes the cue ball to slightly hop when striking the object ball, which is just enough to change its path, sending it toward the position area. Here's another example of this type of shot. When shooting these shots, make sure you don't try to power the cue ball. Just a nice smooth stroke shooting down on the cue ball with an elevated bridge. In this example, I'm on my last solid and I need to draw back for the 8-ball in the corner pocket. Once again, I'll slightly elevate my cue and strike down on the cue ball, sending it around the blocker ball and toward my position area. Here's a great shot that you'll find yourself using over and over again, and it's one of my favorite shots. In this 8-ball game, I left myself this angle on the 3-ball. If I softly roll in the 3-ball, the cue ball will track in this direction, which won't work. But if I use maximum low with about 2 tips of left spin, I can kill the cue ball for shape on the 8-ball. When you try this shot, it may help to choke up on your cue stick with a little more grip pressure. Use a short backstroke with good acceleration. Here's a shot that should definitely be in your shot repertoire. In this game of 8-ball, I ended up here on the 6-ball. The problem is that I need to end up in this half of the table for the 8-ball. One option is to elevate the cue stick and try to hop the cue ball over the stripes. This shot works best when both balls are closer to each other, as in this example. From this distance, this would be too risky to attempt. Instead, I'm going to bank it in the corner pocket using low right. Now when the cue ball strikes the bottom side rail, the right spin widens the angle, sending the cue ball across half table. This is a shot that does take practice, since you have to develop a feel for how to bank the object ball using a firm speed along with side spin. Now we're going to look at 3 shots using maximum follow. A good drill to help you get better at maximum follow is to put the cue ball about a ball away from the object ball, with both balls straight in toward the corner pocket. Now, shooting with a medium firm stroke and maximum high, you should be able to follow the object ball into the pocket. As you improve, move the cue ball and object ball farther away from the pocket. If you're not getting enough follow on the cue ball, that means you're not striking high enough on the cue ball. In this first example, I'm playing 8 ball, and I have an awkward angle on the 5 ball. Maximum high with right spin will send the cue ball in this direction, but just straight maximum high will send the cue ball underneath the stripes and over to the side rail. Focus on striking the cue ball with maximum high. Anything below maximum high will result in less cue ball movement. In this game of 8 ball, I ended up here with an awkward angle on my last solid, the 2 ball. The problem is that I need to send the cue ball down table for shaping the 8 ball. When shooting shots with maximum high, if the cue ball strikes a cushion immediately after contacting the object ball, the revolutions keep driving the cue ball forward, as in this example. So when shooting shots from this angle, after pocketing the object ball, the cue ball strikes the side rail and, due to the maximum follow, will be sent along this path toward the end rail. The key to this shot is aiming the cue ball with maximum high and using a good follow through. Try not to rush the shot, focus on completing your backstroke, then accelerate through the cue ball. This shot is all about stroke and not power. So on this shot, I'm going to be using maximum high and sending the object ball into the outside of the pocket. This gives me just enough angle to send the cue ball off the end rail and toward the position area. You'll see top players perform shots like this quite often when they don't have much angle on their object ball. When you try the shot, make sure you're striking the cue ball with maximum high and using good follow through. In this game, Carlo Biagio needs to land here for the 7 ball. So if he can pocket the 6 ball with about 2 tips of left spin, by the time the cue ball gets here, the left spin will send the cue ball down the table for shaping the 7 ball. The key to this shot is striking the object ball thin and using enough side spin to last all the way to the second cushion. Here's another situation where this type of shot will come in handy. In this game of 8 ball, I need to land on the side rail here for shaping the 8 ball. The goal when shooting the 5 ball is to strike the side rail here using left spin, which will send it along the correct path. Here's an example of using maximum side spin to kill the cue ball speed. In this game of 8 ball, I have an extreme angle on my last solid, the 1 ball. A soft rolling shot will send the cue ball in this direction. But if I can shoot softly with maximum left, I can really kill the cue ball keeping my position for the 8 ball. The reason this works is that by using maximum left, I can aim to strike the 1 ball fuller since the left spin throws the 1 ball toward the pocket. Maximum side spin also helps widen the cue ball path. For instance, in this game of 8 ball, I'm on the 1 ball, and I need to land in this area for shaping the 8 ball. If I were to just roll in the 1 ball, the cue ball would be sent in this direction. In order to widen this angle, I'm going to be using maximum right spin and a soft stroke. This shot takes a bit of practice since you'll need to develop a feel for where to aim since you're using maximum side spin. If your cue ball is heading toward the stripes, you just need to push your tip out farther on the cue ball. In this game of 8 ball, I need to pocket the 7 ball and slide the cue ball around the 8 ball. If I use anything but maximum left, the cue ball will strike the 8 ball. But if I can use a soft stroke with maximum left, when the cue ball strikes the end rail, it slides around the 8 ball. Here's an interesting shot that comes up every once in a while, and this shot works best when the cue ball and object ball are near a rail, which allows for better cue elevation. In this shot, I'm on my last solid, and I need to send the cue ball down table for shaping the 8 ball. The problem is that I'm straight in on the 2 ball, but if I can strike the cue ball with maximum left and an elevated cue stick, when the cue ball strikes the 2 ball, the left spin sends the cue ball across the table. This shot doesn't require a lot of power, just a nice smooth stroke with good follow through. Here's another example of using this type of shot. In this game of 8 ball, I need to pocket the 1 ball and land over here for shaping the 8 ball. Since I'm straight in on the 1 ball, my only option is to elevate my cue stick and strike down on the right side of the cue ball. Now when the cue ball strikes the 1 ball, the right spin propels the cue ball to the right and toward my position area. This shot is similar to a previous Efren Reyes shot in that he uses reverse spin to control the cue ball's path. Efren is on the 2 ball, but if he uses a rolling shot, the cue ball will head in this direction, off the side rail and end rail. Now that Efren knows what direction a rolling cue ball heads in, he can put about 2 tips of right spin on the cue ball using a touch of low. The low spin will send the cue ball a little higher on the side rail, ensuring that the cue ball misses the 3 ball. And if he shoots this with a firm speed, the right spin will last from the side rail to the end rail, which will then straighten the cue ball's path. The goal is to use enough speed and spin so that the cue ball still retains the side spin all the way to the end rail. This type of shot comes up quite often in 8 ball and 9 ball. The key to shots like this is to use enough side spin and speed so by the time the cue ball gets to the second cushion, it still has enough side spin to straighten the cue ball's path. Here's a shot you'll sometimes see a strong player perform. In this game of 9 ball, if I softly roll in the 5 ball, I may be left with a difficult shot for the 6 ball. But if I can use right spin and send the cue ball toward the side rail, when the right spin strikes the end rail, it straightens the cue ball's path, as well as killing the cue ball's speed. This isn't a recovery shot, but I wanted to show you how reverse side spin can affect the cue ball's positioning. In this game of 9 ball, I'm going to pocket the 3 ball play position for the 4 ball. But when I shoot the 3 ball, I'm not going to send the cue ball along this path. Playing position this way requires excellent control of the cue ball. Instead, I'll be sending the cue ball off the side rail and end rail using left spin. The benefit of this shot is that when the cue ball strikes the end rail, there's still enough left spin on the cue ball, which straightens its path off the end rail. By playing position this way on the 4 ball, you're opening up the position window. In this 8 ball game, my opponent left me here straight in on the 7 ball, with both balls frozen on the cushion. When both balls are frozen and are fairly close to each other, you can use a firm stroke and strike the object ball a little less than full, so you'll be slightly aiming toward the end rail. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the last solid, the 3 ball, and I need to send the cue ball toward the top side rail for shaping the 8 ball. High left will send the cue ball in this direction, so once again I'll be using maximum side spin, which really widens the angle off the end rail. When shooting shots like this, focus on a good follow through. In this situation, I'm shooting the 2 ball in the corner pocket, but I need to send the cue ball to the other side of the 3 ball. The problem is that I'm straight in on the 2 ball. Even if I cheat the pocket and use a maximum high, the cue ball will strike the 3 ball. But if I shoot the exact same way but just drop the tip down on the cue ball, now the cue ball slides around the 3 ball for a position. This shot takes a bit of practice, but the key is slightly cheating the pocket while using a very firm stroke. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the last solid, the 1 ball, and I need to hold the cue ball for shaping the 8 ball. A soft rolling cue ball will send it along this path, but if we use maximum reverse spin, I can hold the cue ball for shaping the 8 ball. Even though I'm using a very soft stroke, I still need to generate good follow through to get good revolutions on the cue ball. In this game, we need to track this way toward the side rail for shaping the 5 ball. Too much right spin will send the cue ball in this direction, and no right spin at all will send the cue ball along this path. You'll sometimes see top players use this type of shot to send the cue ball 2 or 3 rails toward their position area. So in this shot, I'll be using about a tip of right spin, which is just enough to send the cue ball toward our position area. Here's another example of using a tip of reverse spin to send the cue ball along the desired path. It's important to practice these shots to develop a feel for how much side spin you're going to need to use. In this 8 ball game, I have this angle on the 6 ball to get on the 8 ball. It's a little too much angle to hold the cue ball for this position. But using a low stun shot with left spin, when the cue ball strikes the end rail, its path straightens, which should leave me a shot on the 8 ball. The key to shots like this is to make sure you have enough side spin to last all the way to the second cushion. Now I'm going to show you 3 shots where maximum low can replace side spin. In this 9 ball game, I'm on the 2 ball and I need to land here for the 3 ball. This is a situation where maximum low will do all the work as far as moving the cue ball toward the side rail. Players sometimes get into trouble on shots like this when they use side spin, since it really widens the path off the side rail. On this shot, as long as you're striking maximum low, the cue ball should be sent toward the other side rail. Here's a similar example where I need to pocket the 4 ball and send the cue ball to the position area for the 5 ball. Once again, just by using low spin, I can send the cue ball along the correct path. Here's another situation where a player might use low right to try to hold the cue ball. An easier solution is to just use maximum low. The low spin kills the roll of the cue ball and brings it back to the side rail, which opens up the position window. Here's a shot that takes a bit of practice, but you'll be using it all the time once you have it down. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the last solid, the 5 ball, and I need to draw the cue ball around the stripes. In order to send the cue ball along this path to our target, we're going to need to slightly cheat the pocket by striking the object ball into the cushion right before the pocket. This shot requires a nice smooth stroke while striking the cue ball with maximum low. If you practice this shot, first try to draw around the 9 ball to get a feel for the shot. And then once you have this shot down, then try to draw it all the way back to the end rail. Focus on a good follow through when shooting this shot. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the last solid, the 5 ball, and I need to hold the cue ball for shaping the 8 ball for the top side pocket. If I softly roll it in with center left, the cue ball will track this way. But if I use maximum low and left spin, I can hold the cue ball for shaping the 8 ball. The key to this shot is striking maximum low. Anything above maximum low may result in the cue ball rolling a bit too far. Also, by using left spin, I can strike a hair more of the object ball, since the left spin throws the object ball toward the pocket. In this 8 ball game, I'm left with this angle on my last solid, the 5 ball. Due to the angle, I would have to go back and forth for shaping the 8 ball, and it wouldn't take much to end up with an awkward angle. A better option is to use low left and send the cue ball off the cushions, which helps slow the cue ball's momentum. Here's a common situation that comes up quite often. In this game of 8 ball, I need to land here with the cue ball. In order to land in this position area, I need to use maximum left spin and a soft stroke. Once again, you'll have to spend some time on shots like this, since you'll have to adjust your aiming due to the maximum side spin. Players are sometimes surprised at how well they can kill the cue ball just by using center and a touch of side spin. For example, in this game of 9 ball, I'm left with this angle on the 1 ball, and I need to hold the cue ball for the 2 ball in the top side pocket. On this shot, I'll be shooting with a very soft speed using center left. The left spin allows me to strike more of the 1 ball, since it throws the 1 ball to the right toward the pocket. Since I'm striking more of the 1 ball, it helps kill the cue ball's speed. Here's another example of using a soft center ball shot to hold the cue ball for position. On this shot, I'm going to be using center left with a very soft stroke. And we can see that even at this angle, I can hold the cue ball for position on the 8 ball. In this game of 9 ball, I need to send the cue ball around the table for shaping the 4 ball. Backward cut shots like this where the player has to send the cue ball around the table can be very difficult, and players sometimes make it even more difficult by adding right spin when it's not needed. On shots like this at this angle, a rolling cue ball with no side spin will still be sent around the table. By shooting with center, it helps simplify the aiming process. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the 7 ball and I need to send the cue ball around the table for shaping the 8 ball. The key to shots like this is to zero in on what part of the side rail the cue ball needs to strike before heading toward the end rail. In each of these examples, I'll be trying to send the cue ball between the 2nd and 3rd diamond. I'll be doing this by using a stun draw shot along with about a tip and a half of right spin. In this game of 8 ball, I'm on the last solid, but I'm on the wrong side of the pocket line. Similar to the previous example, if I can send the cue ball 3 rails toward my target on the side rail, the cue ball should continue toward the position area. In this final example, I'll be using maximum high along with right spin to send the cue ball to my target on the bottom side rail using a firm stroke. In this game of 9 ball, I'm left with this angle in the 3 ball, and I need to end up around here for shaping the 4 ball. So on this shot, I need to use left spin to go 3 rails toward the position area. On shots like this, players sometimes make the mistake of using high left, which results in the cue ball heading in this direction. When you're faced with angles like this, you need to be using center with maximum left, which creates more side spin. If you're shooting the shot and your cue ball isn't spinning off the end rail and side rail like it should, then you need to push your tip farther out on the cue ball. Also make sure you really follow through to generate maximum spin. There are many situations where low with side spin will get you back in line, as in this 9 ball game where I need to land here for shaping the 4 ball. If I can use low left, I can spin the cue ball 2 rails toward the top side rail. Sometimes when players try shots like this where they have to use maximum low along with side spin, they sometimes sacrifice a low spin to achieve the proper amount of side spin, which results in less cue ball movement. Keep practicing until you can achieve the proper balance of low and side spin. In this game of 9 ball, I'm on the 3 ball and I need to play a position for the 4 ball. On this shot, I'll be using maximum high with a touch of right spin to send the cue ball underneath the 4 ball. This is a fairly simple shot that just requires a nice stroke. Here's a version of a previous shot where I'll use a stun draw shot to send the cue ball to this target on the end rail. I'll be using about 2 tips of left spin, which help propel the cue ball back across the table. Shots like this come up quite often in 9 ball and 8 ball, so make sure you practice this shot. Here's a simple shot that doesn't require much of a stroke, but the cue ball will be moving across the entire table. On this shot, I'll be using a stun draw shot to send the cue ball between the first diamond and corner pocket. I'll be using about 2 tips of right spin, which helps propel the cue ball to the position area. Shots where you can use maximum side spin to get position for the next ball come up quite often. Even in situations like this where I need to pocket the 4-ball and land over here for shaping the 5-ball. Once the cue ball strikes the side rail with a left spin, it sends it along the correct path. Shots like this take practice, but once you have it down, you'll be using them over and over again. In this game of 9-ball, I'm on the 3-ball, but I need to hold the cue ball for the 4-ball. A soft rolling shot sends the cue ball in this direction. Using maximum side spin, I can widen the angle, which opens up the position window for the 4-ball. In this game of 9-ball, I could use right spin and try to hold the cue ball for the 7-ball in the same pocket. But my position window isn't very large since I'm playing short side position. A better option is to use maximum left and send the cue ball toward the bottom side rail, which opens up the position window. Here's another example where we can use reverse spin to send the cue ball 3 rails toward our position area. This type of shot works best when you're striking the object ball thin. This is a powerful shot that is well worth knowing. In this 8-ball game, I ended up with an awkward angle on my last solid, but if I can draw back to the bottom side rail using about 2 tips of right spin, I can send the cue ball 3 rails for shaping the 8-ball. Once you have the shot down, change up the shot and try to land the cue ball here. This shot requires a maximum load to send the cue ball higher up on the first side rail. By doing this, now the cue ball will be sent toward the position area. In this 8-ball game, I left myself here on the 6-ball, which is just off the cushion. So the key to playing shape with the 8-ball is to strike the cushion just before the 6-ball with a firm stroke. I'll be using a stun draw shot to send the cue ball down the table. In this game of 9-ball, I'll be pocketing the 1-ball and sending the cue ball to the right end rail between the first diamond and corner pocket, using 2 tips of left spin. Once the cue ball strikes the end rail, the cue ball takes off back to the other side of the table. A powerful shot that comes up quite often is the draw shot with side spin. This is one of the shots that top players use when they end up with a flat angle on their object ball. For example, in this game of 9-ball, I ended up straight in on the 1-ball, and I need to send the cue ball all the way to the other half of the table for the 2-ball. This shot requires a maximum low, along with at least 2 tips of right spin. When shooting shots like this, it sometimes helps to exaggerate your follow-through.